Okay, so I'm going to walk through the setup of my tournament so that you have a guide of what to follow. So first thing I'm going to do is go to speechwire.com and I'm going to click Manager Login. And I'm pretty far out from my tournament being anywhere near now. So I'm going to go to All Tournaments and I'm going to search for MLFA because that's where my tournament's going to show up. And here's a bunch of MLFA. Look at all of those. So I am MLFA. It's the Dominican tournament. I'll end up probably renaming that if I can. So it's the St. Robert Dominican, but whatever. That doesn't matter. Then I'm going to hit Set Tournament. Next thing it asks me is for my username and my password. These are not my coach username and password. When my order was processed by Speechwire, they sent a username and password that is specific to this tournament. So I have to go to my email. So I'm going to go over here to my email, and you can see right here tournament name, username, and password. So this is my username. I'm literally going to copy and paste it so I don't mess up anything with how to write it. And then I'm going to do that again. So I lost my little... I'm going to copy and paste the password and the box as well. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and save it because then it's saved. All right. The next step to set up my tournament, I'm going to hit Start Wizard. And this says, hey, welcome. You are ready to set up? And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to set up. So I'm going to hit Next Step. And I have 3 options here. 3-round tournament, 2-round festival, or 2-round at a power. I'm doing 2-round at a power. I don't want to import rooms. I don't want to import schools. I just want this general template. Yeah, so I'm going to hit import settings. And I've done it. And I hit next step. Now, as far as this page, honestly, you don't really need to change anything on this page right away. You could if you wanted. So like I could hit edit here under general information and set up all of my information here for like my school and things like that. But that'll also show up in a page that's later on, so you don't have to set it up here. I'm just gonna let this page be, and I'm gonna say proceed through setup wizard. See, here's that general information that I said you could have added it over there, but it's also the first page. So I'm just going to go through and make sure I have all the information I want here. I'm going to put a phone number in here so people know how to reach me. I'm going to put an address. Look at this address information is for your entry fees. For me, for example, the location of my tournament is not the same as the place they are sending checks to. They're going to send checks to my school, but we're hosting the tournament at a completely different school. So I'm going to put in the address of where they're sending their fees here. And I'll clarify that later once people register for my tournament. So this is where they are sending fees. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to move this to the second line because the first line I'm going to say care of me so that I get the check and I know what checks have come through. All right, looks good. I'm going to go ahead and hit next step. Events. So this should be all set. You shouldn't have to change anything in here. Group improv, you'll see, is even gone. It's been deleted, so that's great. I'm just going to go ahead and hit next step. This page is about divisions. It's set for middle. We're good. Hit next step. This page shows you that everything is in the middle division. That's perfect. Next step. Groupings have been created. Perfect. Cool. Next step. And this is just showing me the grouping has already been created because this is in our template. It's already set for you. You don't have to worry about it. Cool. Next step. So this may look funny, but I promise it's correct. So I remember I'm doing 2 rounds in a power. So if you're looking at this, it might appear that what I'm setting up is 2 rounds and 2 semifinals, but that's not true. It's just like if you look at it, he has it numbered of like the different stages. If you are doing a power round, it should be coded as a semi. That is how our powers run. Do not change that. If you are doing 3 rounds, that should be preloaded into the template. If you're doing a 2-round festival, again, that should be preloaded into the template. So you're all good. It is possible, I know, for example, as someone who's running a 2-round in a power, that like once things start going, maybe there's not a lot of kids in news reporting, and so you're gonna run 3 rounds for news reporting. You wouldn't know that yet, but know that it is possible later on once people have registered and you see maybe those discrepancies between categories to change one of the categories to be different than the rest. That is possible. Okay, you do have to hit save round numbers before you can move on, and then just hit next step. This should be good to go. We've got round 1, 2, power. The final is there. Don't worry about it. It's not really relevant. Power's good. Rounds 1 and 2 are good. What the numbers we're looking at here is the number of judges per each section, and that's perfect. We good. I'm gonna hit save judge numbers. There is no such thing as a final. That's there literally because people have made mistakes about coding their power as a final, and so that's really just in there as a safety, in case someone accidentally codes their power as a final, that the system will still give you 3 judges for it. So don't worry about it. You're not really having a final round. It's just in case there was a mistake in setup. All right, now I'm going to hit next step. All right, so this is where I put my schedule together. So it's going to have a preloaded like random schedule here for October 1st of 2020. How fun. So I'm going to change that drastically because, my tournament's not on October 1st of 2020. So I'm going to change it. I'm actually I could just preload things up here and add time slots, but I'm just going to edit the ones that exist. Round 1, round 2, and power. They have them assigned to every category. And awards, which I didn't assign to any category because they're not competing, but I just want to put the time in. That's cool. But I'm going to change the times. I'm going to change the date. I'm going to do that by literally clicking on the time for round 1. And now I can change my date. My tournament is going to be on March the 4th, 2023. And I want round 1 starting at 8:30 a.m. And then I'm going to hit save changes, and you'll see when I scroll down here, it moved to a different spot because it's on March 4th now. But that's fine. I'm going to change all these other ones too. So round 2 is March 4th, 2023. And this, I had an 8:30 a.m. I like to put an hour and a half between the starts of rounds, assuming that a round may take up to an hour. Judges may take another 30 minutes. I don't know. It seems to work. And then if I get done early, phenomenal. We get done early and we can move on with our lives. So I'm hoping to start round 2 at 10 a.m. is the moral of that story. And save changes. Cool. And then I've got my power round, which I'm hoping to start at 11:30. Oops, and I didn't change the date. Need to do that because it's not happening in 2020, as that has long gone away. All right, here we go. Yay! All right, last thing I need to move is just my estimation of when awards are. So hopefully, if everything goes as planned, my awards will be at, let's say 1 p.m. I might be hopeful, but whatever. I'll be hopeful. So, and then I'm just going to hit save changes. That looks really great. And I'm going to scroll back up to the top and hit next step. This doesn't really matter. So I'm going to hit next step. All right, this page, there are things to check, but I'm pretty sure Ben updated our template so you don't actually have to change anything. But it's always good to check over. So the way they have codes is good to go. For the display for judge, like schematics and judges, it's for judges, codes and names is good. For the competitors, codes only is perfect. That looks great. A lot of this stuff doesn't apply to us, so all these no's are totally okay. Yeah, everything on this page is totally fine. So there's literally nothing you have to change on this page. So I'm just going to say update settings and then next step. All right, on this one, Suites tabulation settings, this one little change, just change it to all from 2. And then that should fix that problem. Under the rest of this is totally fine. Now under speech settings, all of that is fine. Under general tab settings, all of that is fine. So I'm going to hit update settings and then go ahead and hit next step. And this is correct. We're good here. Don't touch anything on this page. Hit next step. Okay, so this is about tie-breaking schemes. Again, I believe ours are all good. So these are preloaded in our template, so don't touch them. They're perfect. Hit save assignments and hit next step. We're good here. Just hit next step. For this, we are totally fine. It has debate situations, not relevant. Hit next step. Skipping debate. Yeah, I am. Next step. All right, tournament fees. So there are things for you to update on this page. Track fees and registration. Yeah, I want to do that. In the past, there was, I think, at least one tournament host in the past couple years did choose to do a base entry fee. What that is it would charge the school like a base fee in addition to their individual registration fees, like for each entry, or for each student, I should say. I don't charge that. We don't do it at state. We do it by entry. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom here where you can actually charge per entry, per student entry fee. I believe all of the templates are going to have it as $6 as the baseline. You're the host. You get to decide. I'm going to leave it at $6. The other thing worth looking at back up at the top here is managing the judge fees. I believe all of our templates will have what the state judge fees are, but you can always check and adjust things if you want. Manage by hitting manage judge fees. So here we have require 1 judge for every 5 entries and how much should be charged for each uncovered entry or judge, and that's $80. At the top, you get to decide, is it per entry or is it per judge? And I always say it is per judge because that is what the state tournament does. So it's missing judge, not for every single entry. So I'm going to hit that's good, update entries, happy with that. And because I went into here, there's no return to the wizard, and that's okay. I'm going to return to the home page and then continue using wizard. Sometimes you get into a little clicked too far and that happens, but you always can re-enter the wizard, so don't panic. So everything on this page was good then because I didn't end up updating anything. I don't put these deadlines on here as it automates fees in a way that I don't usually intend, so I don't bother with deadlines. What I do bother with is the payable to customization line here. So this tells them who to write the checks out. So make checks. Oh, I'm sorry. These are already invoices generated by Speechwire are already preceded by make checks payable to. So St. Robert School, and I will write care of, again, my name, just so that they know that I need to see it. And then the address I want them to send the check to. And save checks payable info. Then I'm good here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit next step. All right, these you may have some adjustments to. Some people are using e-ballots, some people are using paper ballots. So do you want to use e-ballots? I do. I want to say yes to this. It's going to automatically say yes. If you are choosing to use paper ballots, say no. What platform? Definitely going to be in person. If for some reason you have to go virtual, you could switch it over to NSDA campus. Know that that comes with larger fees, though. I'm totally cool with the alert subscriptions. It's really for judges, so that they can get like alerts when a round's been assigned to them. So especially for something for like power rounds, I'm really okay with it. So yes. Well, I'm not going to post schematics online, but I did say yes again to both of these things. Okay. This is all good. That's all fine. This is all set. In speech e-ballot configuration is all set. And there's nothing you need to change in there, as that's all correct in all of our templates. So I'm just going to hit update settings and hit next step. I'm not worried about judge types. We're good. Next step. Okay, this is the page. This is an invitation page. I don't write invitations. I don't see really a reason for you to write invitations either. You do need to save it in order to move on. So I'm going to hit save invitation and then hit next step. All right, this page is very useful. I am not going to take time to fill it out right now, but this is something you should fill out prior to registration day in January. And I will too. Like, it's something I will come back to later to fill out. For now, I'm just going to write, I will come back and fill this out later. So what I would fill out on here later, because this is like public facing information for anyone who's signing up for my tournament, is I might put the location of the tournament or the tournament schedule, the fees associated with the tournament. If I know about like food, and maybe eventually I'll update like food options here. So this is like the public facing, where's the tournament, what's happening at the tournament. And if you don't want to put the address of the tournament here for safety reasons, that's also totally logical. You could instead put your own contact information in the schedule and say how you're going to communicate other details. But this is just general information that anyone can see. So I'm going to hit save general information and then hit next step. Topic requirements. This isn't relevant. Just hit next step. Upload files. You can use this. So you can click here to upload files. And these would be for coaches to access after they've already like logged into your tournament registration. So this might be like map of the school building. Again, this isn't public facing. They have to be registered for your tournament. So you're not just like publishing a map. Etiquette statements, I don't know, things like that. If you have a menu you want kids to be able to look at, you could upload that type of file. Okay, so I'm going to go hit next step. Custom pages, I'm not worried about that. Next step. Registration cap, you should look at this. So you need to set this up definitely before registration day in January. Otherwise, you may end up with way too many people in your tournament. So you could cap number of teams, like literally saying, I only want 10 teams at my tournament, whatever type of cap you want. I don't usually do a number of teams cap. You can also do like the overall entry registration cap. This is what the type of cap that I input, and it's the type of cap that our MLFA tournament scheduler traditionally uses as well. Something to think about is this is total entries, not total students. And so if you're thinking about group acting and group interp and demonstration, and when you're deciding upon your cap, make sure that you consider the fact that those could have several people in them. So I'm going to cap my entries where I want to cap it, knowing that the number of students will be higher than this. Okay. Oh, so this is cap number of entries each team can register overall for all of the events added together. Don't fill anything out for this. When you're reading it, it may appear to be like that whole we only allowed 6 entries per team, but that's set up somewhere else and it's already applied to your template, so you don't need to worry about it. So just make sure you put your cap of number of entries in and then hit update caps and hit next step. This is where like the per team caps are. So you should stick with the league standard here. It's already in. Don't worry about it. Hit next step. I'm not worried about adding teams directly. This is not something you should worry about either. Just hit next step. This page matters a lot. Right now, you do not want your tournament to be open. Right now, your tournament should be closed. I'm going to go ahead and just like check all of these things so that they're checked when I come back to it. There's one thing I do want to toggle here, and that is this line right here. I want to run my tournament as open, not as an invitational, as open. This way, anyone can sign up for my tournament. So I want to leave it open. However, that being said, right now, registration is actually closed, meaning it's not actually open to be registered. On registration day, I will come back to the registration settings and I'll toggle this to open and hit update. Right now, I'm going to keep it closed because I'm not ready for people to actually register for my tournament. So I'm going to have this and I'm going to hit update settings. There are some other registration settings that you can look at down here, which again, the template has already in there. I love this feature, for example, so it creates a wait list. I don't know why you would choose to say no to that. I love the wait list because then you actually have a list of people who are trying to get in and exactly what they're trying to get into as you are adjusting your numbers or people are dropping. You've got a wait list that you can approve or deny. Really cool feature. Everything else, again, I don't think you need to change. Everything's good there. This is one thing. There we go. I know some tournaments like to order meals ahead. You can have people order them right here. This is where you would do it, is you would toggle yes, and you can keep it closed right now or you can open it right away. And then there's another page where you can actually say what types of meals are you selling and their cost, and it's all included in their like fee that can be their invoice that is sent from the system. I'm personally not going to be having people buy meals ahead of time, but it is a cool feature and super useful if you are having people order and purchase meals ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next step. And that's it. I don't want to send email invitations, so I'm just going to return to the home page. And now I'm back to the home page. I have set up my tournament. It is on Speechwire and set up and ready to go. It's not yet open, so people can't sign up for this tournament, but it is ready for me on registration day to come and open. On registration day, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hit registration manager, hit settings, and I'm just going to toggle this box to open and then say update settings. And then it will be open for anyone to sign up for my tournament. I'm going to make sure I only toggle it to open and hit update settings at my assigned time. I hope this video helped.